Dwarf Warrior 25 just subscribed for 28 months. Fuck yay. Recap time, mother kippers.
Because he was.
Because I
Hi
Press the
everybody!
button.
Oh shit! I've not. Oh,
Oh,
fuck
no.
yeah. Great start.
pressed the button. Paige,
Oh,
press the
shit.
button.
Press what button?
Hello.
Jesus,
Oh.
Berg. I
Yeah,
blame
we're
Berg
in.
for this.
We'll blame Berg for this.
I am
everyone.
demonk now.
Dang it, Berg.
I am demonk now.
Dinkelberg.
It's Wednesday, my dudes.
Ah.
Just delay the belay. We'll sort it out. Don't stress. I am demonk. While I sort out this camera issue because Berg's not here yet, he will be imminently. What happened last week, Mr. Dwarf?
A lot of things. Where do you want me to start?
At the start.
Start at the start,
At the start.
finish at the end. Don't
All
fuck
right.
about in the middle.
Okay, at the beginning, there was the gods. Avia. What? Too far?
yeah.
Too far back.
Okay, so, well, it was an interesting start up to the day. Azura,
Oh.
I don't know what's happened, but something's happened. We'll carry on. There's distractions.
Just carry on, crack
carry
on. Ignore the
Our
cameras.
So-
two dungeon masters help.
We're fucked.
You thought now.
Doubly.
Double team.
Double
supreme.
fucked.
If Ada joins channel now, I'm just packing up for the day. I'm out. Nah. Anyway, first things first. We started the day as any other day. Waking up, having a bit of breakfast, certain people doing some journaling. Good mornings. Extra pillows was ordered. The day is good. Anyway, it was a day that was needed. Conversations was meant to be had in the sense of, well, we need to find out what the fuck Octavian, it is Octavian? Octavian. True plans is, Octavian, that's the one. Octavian's true plans are for Azura and Zarmanafax's skeleton remains. So a missive was wrote by our glorious paladin, Zafira. It was proofread by a glorious barbarian, Azura, with a sealed from the prince himself. Yes, the
Mance
prince.
didn't read shit. He just signed it without looking.
Signed, the prince.
In crayon.
Crayon.
Well, I never said crayon. Back off. Anyway.
I did.
Hey.
Oh,
Is he here?
he's
Yeah,
going to
he
mess
is.
the cameras up now.
Just keep
Well, who is this
talking.
imposter?
Keep
Anyway.
talking, dwarf.
That's why.
Anyway.
That's why it says Berg ?
Anyway, shut up. I'm recapping here. Anyway, the camera's going skew-if, but anyway, the missive was sent by sending a guard to deliver it as a missive to House Zarmanifax, asking for a meeting in the sand dunes where it's neutral ground, everyone's in the open, and nobody can be surprised by anything. Whoopee-dee. So the missive was sent. There was nerves upon the air. As it
Berg's
is-
here now. You can speed
Well,
it up.
Nah, I'm going at this pace now. Fuck yous all.
Oh,
All right. Dwarf's being a bitch. I get it.
We're joking. Crack on, mate.
keep you.
We love you, Dwarf. We love you.
Anyway, the missive was sent. The time of the appointment was come to be. We all did a few things in the day because the missive was set for the morrow. So Octavian had plenty of time to read it, plan. If he wanted to fuck us in the ass in the dunes, he could have made plans. So we give him plenty of time. The day of said appointment, we all woke up fresh, and then we went to the dunes. We determined Zafira would have been the best person to deal with this by talking to Zar Manifex, because Octavian, because she's got a clear head.
Keep it down.
Dang.
We
Bit
got
of
quiet.
background.
Keep it
yes,
down.
we
You're
determined-
putting too much effort into your backstory.
I know. But we determined Zafira would have been the most level-headed person to have this discussion. That went well.
Yeah.
I mean, I said that went well. Did that not went well?
You said it with a heavy, heavy dose of sarcasm. Well, it actually, in fact, did go well.
Went very well. No one died.
You're
Positive
you're
number one.
interrupting my monologue here.
Right, go on. Flowmaster General.
Stop dragging it out, jeez.
Anyway, so we went for the meeting. Scaff, Jin, Azura stood on the dune whilst Zafira met Octavian. And they had their conversation. Many things were discussed, like what's the crack with Darius Sai? Has the beef effectively ended? Many questions was asked. To which Jin was called down to speak with Octavian to determine, are we willing to call a truce going forward? Which Zafira asked elegantly. And it was put very well. Because we need to let the past be the past on this. And we need to move forward. Jin and Octavian did manage to come to some sort of conversation, understanding, and they shook hands, I believe, in agreement. He says...
Yeah.
Not... Yes. To which we then went into the discussion of Azura and what the next few days are going to hold. Secrets was kept in some things, but in all, it came to the point of, well, Octavian laid everything bare. He was honest, he told us the truth, and then he requested a private conversation with Azura in what's going to happen in the next few days. If he would be his champion. And he needs to know by the day after tomorrow?
Gave him till
is it
tomorrow night to
Yeah,
come see him.
yeah.
Well,
And that's when
he
he
said,
did-
come see me tomorrow night if you make a decision. He didn't necessarily
Yeah.
make it a time scale, but
But a decision needs to be made for the future of, well, House Zar Manifax, and Azura is that future by the sounds of it. Conversation was had, lots of things was said and done. Azura explained it to the group, to which we all headed back to the city after Octavian. Jin and Scaff had a few little banters, to which Azura carried on pacing us towards the city, keeping head with quite a lot on his shoulders and what to think about. And as we were getting closer to the city, Azura being 60 feet in front of us, got to the gates, and that's where the interesting thing happened. He got disappeared into a portal, walked through a portal, or was it just a
Dimension door.
dimension door?
He was charmed.
And
Charmed and dimension
well,
door.
we didn't know that. We don't know that, people.
yeah.
Shh. Went through a dimension door, and well, that's where we left with Azura going through a dimension door. Jin, Zafira, and Scaff all stood 60 feet behind, like with the jaws wide open, like the fuck's just happened.
We didn't see.
Well, you didn't
We
see
didn't
it.
see it.
We're just bantering, going up to the wall.
Okay, we didn't see shit, so I'll take that back. The other three, remember, we were just having some bants, having a bit of laugh.
Yeah.
What?
And
Haven't we
where's
sent anything
Zora?
out?
Making plans to go to the church.
At church.
I mean, I don't think the plan to go to the church was very relevant to this part of the recap, was it?
No, but it was the plan.
It was the plan.
It is the
And
plan.
that's the man with the plan, and the paladin with the plan, and the paladin with the plan is where we ended. After Azura went through the dimension door, and that's where we went, oh, shit. Because we had a raid, and that's why we continued a very little bit better.
Yeah.
Recap done.
Thanks, Dwarf.
Where's the
Thanks, dwarf.
As the midday sun caresses the cloudless sky, post-meeting, you all head back towards the city. As you cross through the threshold of the gate, Zafira, give me an insight check.
An insight. Let me find my dice. Here it is. A 16.
A 16. You spent a lot of your youth in the north, and whilst spending these last few days in close proximity, the weight of your past looming like the size of the mountains themselves, you cannot help but feel that familiar taste or sense or prickle of the skin when the weather's due to change. But it passes as soon as it crosses your mind. As you all look forward inside the city, walking the familiar path back towards, or seemingly back towards, House Gulreen,
I wonder where the big guy went.
you see Azura walking back towards House Gulreen, still maintaining his 60 feet gap that he had.
I guess he's just gonna go back to have a think.
No, don't blame the guy.
I do wonder though if he wants to come with us to church, so we don't split up again.
We can ask him.
Sure. You can catch up. You're quickest.
Oh, come on.
Pat him on the shoulder. Like, come on.
Fine.
Before he goes inside, please.
Like a sprint to catch up.
Yeah. You run up to Azura, who seems to be walking, shoulders slightly hunched, walking with purpose.
Big guy. We're going to the temple.
Kind of looks over his shoulder and... Okay.
You want to come with?
Not right now.
We shouldn't be splitting up right now.
I'm tired. And then he just points towards House Gulreen and keeps walking.
Can I inside him?
Yeah.
Seems a little
Off.
Yeah. Grab my dice as I stuffed my face with food.
Mm.
Still have wings. I still have most of my wings. God damn it. Alright, insight. Big character sheet. That is an 18.
He seems a bit off. But, I mean, he says he's tired. Just striding with purpose. Maybe there's a lot weighing on his mind. What exactly are you trying to insight?
If he's of right mind. If he's like dare or because
He's focused on house green, striding with purpose. He doesn't quite sound quite himself vocally. But my 19 deception means that he just scraped by.
Oof. Oof.
That's why I pulled a face, because I didn't think it'd be high enough.
So close. So
I
close.
thought he'd had me.
Oh my goodness.
There's something not right, but I
rolled Do you in your DMness opinion?
Yeah.
He doesn't sound right, like vocally.
Yeah.
Would there be reason enough for Jin with his background to flag him with a check question?
I will say yes. Whilst my deception roll beat your insight, he is ultimately, he's been your colleague for years. You've spent every day together for fuck knows how long. He's now your pupil. And whilst arguably he's got a lot on his mind with all of this shit going on, I mean, yeah. I know we're kind of on that borderline of we don't want to metagame the fact that we know he's not right.
Yeah.
But
hence I'm asking.
Yeah. Because he only scraped by 1 point.
I will call back to him. Oh God! Now I have to come up with a good check question. Fuck.
Probably had one in mind, but forgot.
I did just a second ago.
I hate it when that happens.
Mm-hmm. Fucking awful.
Just let it be then if you forget.
I don't want to let it be, dwarf. That's the thing.
Let it go.
Shh, you're not there. Stop influencing
You're
the
also
man.
not helping.
He's still striding with purpose, and with that 60 feet ahead, he's closing on House Green.
I mean,
I'll be keeping up as best as I can.
Oh no, of course, yeah. He's not like yeah. I'm just saying.
Would I remember if he? We didn't take our weapons, did we?
No.
Oh, yes, we did.
We took everything. All our stuff.
Does he have the sword with him at the moment?
He appears to.
Pierced. Azura.
Hmm?
You remember whose blade that was?
Motherfucker. I'm going to roll a D100 on D&D Beyond. On a 65 plus, he's going to have a guess. Anything lower than 65, shit might go differently.
Oh no. Oh. Oh, okay.
88. So aside from that, I'm going to give him an insight roll, which I will also roll on D&D Beyond.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Ouch.
He looks you up and down, like briefly, just gives you a quick scan. Tries to disguise it as a nod. Of course, it was yours.
Oh no.
It's the popcorn.
I'm then going to roll another insight. Obviously, you'll have time to respond, but he's going to roll another insight to see if he can weigh up your reaction.
That doesn't even beat my passive. Like, fuck.
Oh my goodness.
It's not that high.
Thing is, I couldn't see these rolls because they don't pop up for me. Because it's on
Whoa.
my
Oh,
sheet.
because it's on your sheet. Oh shit. I honestly don't know how to roll as the DM for everybody. I just go onto someone's sheet. I need to figure that out, to be honest. I might just add a random character in there just for my purposes of rolling shit. But
Call it the DM.
yeah. That's
I'll call it God.
That's pluses, bonuses. That's not just what he gets, obviously.
I will harden a little bit. Wrong answer, big guy. And I will use the Ring of the Stocks to see if I can hold person them.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What's the save? I think it's 18. Wisdom,
yes,
is it, or
I think we
charisma?
did. I think it was 18, but it is wisdom.
Azura stops moving.
Oh no.
I will shout to my buddies that are now slowly approaching.
Oh god.
It is not him. Surround him.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before the spell wears off.
Okay. Oh, what now?
With your
No, you
passive
can hear me.
perceptions, you all see that nearby in the service camps.
Oh.
Are we back?
Oh.
Are
No,
we
no,
back?
it's okay. Yeah. It's good.
It's catching up. It's catching up.
You can all see nearby in the service camps. Let me just open my Steam and make sure it's not downloading anything that's causing delays. We did just drop a few frames. 2 seconds. Are you doing updates in the background, you bastard? No, you're not. Oh, shit internet then. You all
It's not
see
too.
nearby in the service camps as you shout, and Azura stops moving. The nearby green dragonborn all seem to stand up, and I mean, just passively, you all kind of notice as you all start jogging over. They've not done anything, but and there doesn't appear to be any blue ones there.
You guys are coming over. I will simply, because I know in whole person you can still hear. This is going to drop in a minute. You're going to tell me who you are and what you've done to my friend.
I imagine that Azura, like the Jin is standing sort of in front of the fake Azura, so I'm just gonna kind of stand to his side.
Okay. Scav?
I will, if Jin and Zafira are effectively in his front, I'll be behind him.
Okay.
Whole person only lasts about a minute. So.
Okay. Whole person finishes.
Hold on. Actually, what I will do as well, when we get up to him, I'll manacle him. Put some manacles on him.
Oh.
Nice.
Since he's held and he can't move.
He's like, his muscles are like tensed up though in whole person, so you would have to have monstrous strength to
if you want to. Yeah, especially on Azura.
I'll still try and manacle him.
Okay. You reach for Azura's hands, and your hands pass through.
Zafira was about to say something to Scaff, but turns out it doesn't need to. Oh, well.
Okay then.
Whole person finishes.
Mm-hmm.
The figure stops.
Where is Azura?
Azura smiles. One by one, turns to look at you all. And then, with a slightly exaggerated crane of the neck to look towards the service camp, shrugs and smiles.
Listen, we're not here to cause anyone any trouble. We don't want to do anything to anyone. We just want to know where our friend has gone. He's been our friend for years. So if he just suddenly disappears and is replaced with a honestly quite impressive spell.
He gives you a slow nod whilst smiling.
It is a bit worrisome, you see.
You appear to be attributing trust across the city freely. Perhaps then I will ask you for one more. Allow me to go, and my colleagues will not need to get involved. And your friend will return, unharmed.
Good. Well, but what is it you want with him?
Quite the celebrity he finds himself.
Unfortunately, I think.
conversation first.
I'll step a step closer. And after?
That may determine based on the conversation.
And what would this conversation be?
Again, that is where I would ask your trust.
I find myself short-supplied.
Jin.
Looks over towards the service camps again and gives a slow nod.
I'm in agreement with Jin. Jesus.
You notice the figures in the service camps. 10, 12 maybe at quick count. Slowly start to walk towards you.
This is not the place.
He'll determine that. I have no quarry with you yet. What conversation?
Give me a persuasion
Very
or intimidation.
Ooh. That will be... It doesn't really matter which one, honestly. 10.
If you know not of the importance of the celebrity in the city, then you need not know why we want to talk to him.
If you do not want to see the head of yours and your friends scattered all over the floor,
Jin.
you will tell me
Jin.
where he is and why. I have no patience of being dragged into your political scuffles. I want my friend, and I want to leave.
He smiles
We
again.
want him. We want him now.
Looks
Guys,
over towards
Hey.
the serviceman. Nods again.
can we all just, and I'm just gonna raise my hands a little bit. Can we just calm it down a little bit? We don't need to be starting fights in the middle of the city.
They've
See,
just
they're-
abducted Azura.
Gath.
How do you want us to react?
Can you let me speak? My goodness. See, they are a bit harsh. I will say that. But we've been with Azura through every step of the city and of this way to get here and to find out about what is going on. So I think Azura too would have appreciated it if we had been involved as his friends. As of now, we don't really hold any sort of opinion leaning towards one thing or another. We just want to know what's going on, and we want to be there to support our friend.
He will be returned to you unharmed if I am to leave this circle.
Can you leave as reassurance?
My word.
How about your tongue?
If you want to
How
send
about
it that
this?
way,
I won't.
my colleagues will
I don't know
be here shortly.
your word. I don't know your word if I don't know your name.
Know your face.
Say that again. Jin, what did Jin say?
Nor your face.
Oh right, yeah. I was gonna say you haven't seen his face.
Because he still looks like
Yeah.
Azura,
Mhm.
crying
Just-
out loud.
And quite awkwardly, you're all looking up, talking to Azura.
Yeah, who is probably 2 feet down.
When you say he will be returned if you were to go, what's the time frame of him being returned to us?
Unfortunately, that is up to him. If he talks, and talks plainly, could be as early as this evening.
Gonna be here a while.
There's one thing that Azura is honest.
I
He
will
can be
say this.
influenced.
If you are not aware of what comes in 2 days' time, then you do not need know, for that is house business.
As of 10 minutes ago, I did not need to know.
Now it involves our friend. And that is the issue.
And you have now made it. Us to know this.
If you're just going to leave us with a promise that he will be returned, then at least let us know who you are.
Azura smiles again.
Better yet, tell us what's happening in 2 days. You clearly need Azura to stop whatever is happening. You saying you want our trust? You said he'll be returned. Tell us now, plain as day. We are sick of being told secrets, and if you do not know, you will never know. We want to know.
Do you always need to know the business that doesn't concern you?
And it's to do with our friend that you've kidnapped, yes.
You say kidnapped, he followed my friend willingly.
I doubt that. Without letting us know, he would not have. We know him, we don't know you.
I've said what I need to say.
I'm just going to look at Jin at that point.
Toss a sideward glance to Saphira.
Shake my head.
Looking at me.
But just
Looking at you.
then go. Go and
I
return
will
safe.
reach through the illusion and hopefully find something that's akin to a neck.
Give me a dexterity check.
Fucking scaps.
A dexterity what?
Check, just flat dexterity.
Flat dex, that would be a 21.
21. Yeah, you reach through and grab what feels like a neck.
I'll slightly squeeze.
Jin.
Reach in. Now I know where his head is. Go through probably Ezra's torso.
Yeah, you just pecks at the minute.
And I will sort of, like, next to his head. If one scale on his body is out of place, I am not opposed nor frightened of being outnumbered. I will let go and walk away.
Azura smiles again.
Just go and return him safely, please.
Azura walks away.
She's still going to the house.
Not anymore.
Alright, I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was about to say, if he did, it wouldn't have been a fight.
He turns and walks towards the now approaching Green Dragonborn.
Saphira, we're about to go to our house that we've been staying at. I'm about to go into a room where there's probably a head of a household, and I'm going to demand answers.
Jin, that's not...
No, up until 10 minutes ago, it wasn't our business, and I wasn't going to make it mine. I didn't give a shit if this city burned down tomorrow. But now, it does, and I do.
At least
He is our friend, our
I know.
family.
Jin, I know.
I'm with Jin on this.
But
We'll
you cannot-
talk. But
you
I'll
cannot-
barge in the room, but we'll talk.
You don't have to barge in the room. We can approach this with enough care to not get ourselves thrown out of the city right this instant. Because then we'll have a real problem getting our friend back. As of right now, we might still get him back. Because, think about this logically. Do you not think they would not start a huge war within the city if they did something to him now? With the biggest house in this city?
Honestly, considering the conversation we just had with Octavian, I don't think he cares enough.
Just... We can go and talk to her. But at least let's handle this tactfully and not barge in and ruin our chances of having a conversation.
I'll stay my blade, but I'll say my words plainly and without diplomatic tact. I would have 10 minutes ago. I am out of patience regarding whatever the fuck is happening in this city. I don't care enough about its future. But I care a lot more about our friend, who's currently probably in a hole somewhere underground being questioned by God knows who, for God knows reason. In ominous words, he will come out unscathed if he has good conversation.
And we're just
Sometime this evening.
And we're just to believe them as well with that.
Anger is not the way of approaching this.
I'm beyond anger.
Just...
You lead, I'll follow.
Settle yourselves.
You lead, I'll
Go
follow.
to the door of House Goldreed.
We've been given nothing, but we've had everything taken.
I don't think you quite understand how delicate this is, and by just barging in and demanding answers, we're going to ruin a lot more than we're going to fix.
I don't know how delicate this is. They're not telling us shit.
Ding, ding, ding.
Are we talking lives? Are we talking a change of the guard of a house?
The situation for just ourselves is delicate enough. Can you not understand? If you ruin this for ourselves, we ruin our chances of seeing him again by tonight. Or at all. If they kick us out of the city. Because we're not getting back in, we don't have anyone here.
If required, we can walk a different route. But
just
you lead, I'll follow.
I'll go back to the house and I'll knock on the door.
Door opens. Oh, back so soon. I thought you might have been out all day.
It's Magda.
It's one of the guards, the familiar guard that's been there basically every day.
Yeah, well, it's went a bit quicker than we imagined. Is Magda here?
I believe so. She was planning to leave shortly with Lady King, I believe.
All right. Is she? And I point towards the beaded curtain. Is she back or upstairs?
I believe she's beyond the curtain.
Oh, thank you very much. And I'll just walk through the foyer and then move aside the curtain and have a look.
I'll be this close behind.
Just matching step for step. Stepping into her gate.
I will not. I won't
holding onto her tail like.
I'll be close behind, but I won't be that close as Jin to Zafira.
As you go in last, Scath, the guard kind of doesn't touch you, but kind of raises his hand just to interrupt briefly. I can smell the mood? Is there an issue?
It's sort of Sully meme.
Yikes!
Just this.
You could say that. You're probably about to hear what's about to happen. I doubt this is going to be a quiet conversation.
You see, he looks over at the other guard, then looks back at you. Is there to be an issue in the house? He reaches down towards his blade.
No. There'll be no issues in the house. We need answers. As you can see, somebody is missing. It is not happy why he's missing. We need answers. But it will be peaceful.
If someone is missing, have you not been to the guard? What do you know thus far? Can we help?
Depending on the conversation we're about to have, maybe. We need answers first from Magda.
And what if Lady Magda cannot provide these answers?
That's exactly what I mean.
If Magda cannot, we will find somebody who can. That is not in this house. It is answers we want at the moment.
Understood.
It is answers. It is answers, not violence. Yet.
He nods and, whilst holding the hilt of his blade, shuts the door. As you were.
Thank you.
Give me a perception check, Scath, as you walk towards the beaded curtain.
Nah, mate.
What did you get?
7.
7? That's easy enough. As you take not 2 steps away, you hear the door lock.
Okay.
You all approach the beaded curtain. As you go through, you can see that the tables have once again been pushed to one side. After breakfast has finished, not yet ready to be pulled back out for lunch.
Lunch. So what about second breakfast?
What about second breakfast? 11.
As I enter behind Saphir, I will undo my sword belt with the 3 blades on it. And I'll attempt to gently place them on the table, but I might not be able to do it so gently.
And I'll have a look around for where Magda is.
Yeah, Magda's sat at the far end of the table with Lady King sat next to her. As she hears the blades hit the table a little bit too loud, she kind of startles a bit. Oh. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. And I'll sit down with them. It's right.
Meeting not go as planned.
It did. But there. Okay, there is now an issue that we're missing Azura. And
Right.
right.
How did you lose him? Was he not at the meeting?
He was at the meeting, but he went ahead when we walked back into the city. And when we walked through the gate, we found that he'd been replaced by a spell.
An opportunist.
And he's been taken for questioning. And
do you know by who?
I'll roll a history for this to see if I remember that. Saphira remembers the name. I remember the name.
Jin will just interject. Whichever the Kerecekian fuck those green dragonborn belonged.
How's Pursuua?
Jin.
That one.
Yes, Jin.
Settle yourself. And
No. I will allow you to say what needs to be said.
Right.
I will emphasize
So-
where required.
So
Okay,
Scaff will be pacing backwards and forwards as well.
So, obviously, you can see that it is quite agitating.
Yes, I imagine so. That if you
And
approach the guard, if you know who's taken him.
no, we haven't yet, but we. Okay. So,
Would you
they
like some
also
tea?
mentioned Magda, not right now. So, we, of course, questioned this person on why they took him and where they took him to, but they wouldn't elaborate, and they kept mentioning that if we don't know what's happening in 2 days' time, that we don't need to know. But
She looks at
it's,
Nefene.
I don't think it's a far stretch to assume that they have taken him because of what is happening in 2 days. And since it now concerns our friend, it concerns us, and we need to know what's going on.
Did you know House Xarmanafax was going to ask our friend to represent them?
No. Because the houses and their representatives are intentionally kept to the houses and their representatives for fear of information spoilage. That's why
The
no
whole-
one that doesn't need to know about it hasn't been told.
But you see, Magda, we don't need to know what it is that your house is doing exactly in 2 days' time. We just need to know what's going on as a whole. What is happening?
She looks at Nefene and... Give me a persuasion check.
Come on. Don't fail me now.
You only wanted a bonus to it here.
I don't have my channel divinity ready, so I can't.
Have you used it? You haven't used it today, have you?
I haven't used it, no. I could, I guess.
I mean, as you could probably imagine, it's going to be quite a hard
It's going to be hard to
given
see.
how
Okay, well,
no one wants to tell you.
I will. Okay, I will. As I have spoken and voiced my concern and asked about what's going on, I will use it, and you will notice that the faint golden glow is back. I don't know about the whole snake moving on the shield, but maybe. Not that they would see because that's on my back. But yeah, another. Okay, I'll roll again. Another +5. Oh, that's not bad. A 23 total.
23 total.
Hmm.
I can see that you're tense. And I can see that perhaps whatever I say won't alleviate the fact that your friend has been taken. Whilst I'm hoping you can appreciate, I can't give you the full details. What I can suggest is that you try to relax just a little. House Pursuua would not do anything stupid with everything looming in the city. I'm sure you can appreciate with the interest that Octavian has taken in your friend. If he were to find out that they'd done anything to him, it wouldn't go very well. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to excuse them. Whatever their means and methods are, perhaps just talking first might have been the better idea. But I'm not them, says the DM. I cannot tell you all of the details, because it's pertinent to the houses and their representatives. But if it may at least alleviate your concerns a little, Or maybe not, I don't know. She looks at Nephene again, who gives her a very subtle nod, and she swallows. It concerns... She looks around to make sure no one's looking. Leans a little closer.
Yeah, lean it as well so she can talk quietly.
Even my housemen do not know. It concerns the guilds and the battle for new leadership. That is all I can say.
Mm.
I'm sure you're aware that the guild houses have been closed for the last number of weeks after the loss of the executives.
Yes, we are aware.
Well, I feel I've already said too much. Somebody is coming in 2 days' time to seek new leadership for the guild house in Dragoon. But I cannot say any more.
See. Well,
What house was in charge before?
There wasn't an overarching or single leader. The guild houses were tended, I suppose, more publicly under the leadership of the executives. They staffed...
You mean in Dragoon?
Sorry, what did I say?
Public guild houses? I understand
Yes,
how that works.
The Dragoon house was staffed by someone from the executives. They would put them in charge.
External. Okay.
But once the guild houses... Well, I'm sure you're probably aware, once the guilds closed, they've been shut for weeks. But now whoever is taking control is coming to arrange the leadership. And so the houses will meet with their representatives and discuss it.
right.
Please do not tell anyone of this.
No. I had the same thoughts that it would probably be very, well, stupidly decided to do something to Azura now. If they were to do anything to him, which I do not want to assume. Thank you, Magda.
Jim picks up his blade, puts him around his waist again, leaves.
I know
Walking towards the front door.
I know they're quite harsh, but they just worry.
The door's locked.
It's fine. If I can alleviate the concern at least a little. Just remember, he's big and he's strong. And he apparently has Octavian's backing. So
I don't want to assume the worst in people, even when they do things like this. There's a reason for everything. But it is harder to convince the other two.
If your concerns are not belayed, then seek the gods. For there's nothing, unfortunately, that we could do as a house.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it would be wise to set the guards on a house in the city. Because, frankly, I've told you because I've come to trust you, Magda. But if we just told the guard about what happened, you know the amount of Zarmanafak's guard in the city. And if word got to Octavian, I fear it might escalate.
That's fair enough.
But, thank you. And I'll get up and I'll give them a quick nod, almost sort of a short bow. And I'll follow out of the curtain.
I'll be staring down a guard at this point to open the door.
Open the door. Open the door.
You see, as you've walked through, Jin, passively you see Mephis has been stood sort of eavesdropping, but sort of being the link between the door guard and the conversation.
I will shoot him a glance that just speaks of fire.
Yeah.
And tell him, basically with my eyes, to stop listening in.
You hear a voice in your head. We're here as a house to ensure the safety of our mother. And then he kind of nods toward the guard, who nods back and unlocks the door.
I'll pass through.
I'll go after Jin.
Yeah. I'll follow too, and I'll just give them a bit of the guards a bit of and Mephis a bit of an almost apologetic look, and just a gentle nod.
Raises his hand and shakes his head.
Did we determine if the guards speak Elvish?
Don't know.
'Cause I don't think they did they? I'll catch Jin, but I'll catch him in Elvish. See, right, hold up.
I'm walking towards the rough direction of the temple.
I'll catch up to Jin in Elvish. Keep my voice quiet. I didn't think the answers were correct. I didn't like
And
the
I'll
answers.
return in Elvish. There was one benefit of my father's reign, is that political scrupulousness got executed. I hate this fake keeping secrets of one another. This city is a bubble of lies.
Walk after them, no idea what they're saying.
In Elvish, it's like, I don't think it's as simple as a discussion. There's more to
doubt
that.
it.
Why would Miss King be? Why would Anita share it? There's more.
Why would
that-
Octavian pick someone who has no diplomatic background and is, in essence, a living, walking weapon?
Mhm.
I
did
love
just
the
like
man.
answers.
I do. And I will go through fire. Pieces on the board don't match up. As a diplomat, who's probably the strongest warrior currently between us, and Octavian wants to put Brawler on the board.
Mhm.
And
That's
then
why I did not like
Lord
the
knows
answers.
what those other guys have planned. And who they're bringing to the table.
Mhm.
They kidnap a man.
That's why I didn't like any of the answers that was just given.
I'll turn to Saphira. I need an inn or quiet place to sleep and meditate.
The church.
Or the next person who approaches me with whatever political squabble they're currently undertaking, and those words do not start with "I know" and end with "where your friend is," I'll keep walking towards the temple.
Not say anything more, just follow.
Guiding towards the churches, temples. That's probably the best place to go. I think.
Okay. So you three are heading towards the churches.
Yeah, I'm just team walking towards there at the moment.
Although,
Although...
nice.
Dot, dot, dot.
Dot, 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 dot.
Meanwhile...
Not yet, anyway.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Azura, you feel the hand of a slender dragonborn placed on your shoulder as he almost opens a door in front of you. And you willingly step through it. In an instant, the temperature around you changes. You leave the exterior warmth of the outside Kerecekian air. The warmth that you're used to as you've been travelling for so long. And as you almost step out of a very rapid teleportation, you're greeted by... Now, how to describe this? We've all been to a zoo, right? We've all been into the reptile enclosure, right? How it just smells of damp and reptile, but still has that kind of warmth to it. You can hear the running of water, of a nearby source of water. It sounds natural. You see the interior is sandstone, but it is dampened. The hand is removed from your shoulder as the charm is immediately gone, because you can't concentrate on charm person and disguise self at the same time. The figure removes his hand from your shoulder and steps to one side. Raising both hands, he says, "Do not fear, but do not be angry. We've brought you somewhere unfamiliar. You will leave this place unscathed after a short conversation. But if you try to escape, it will not end well for you." As you see, stepping out of the shadows, various other green dragonborn. Some tall and slender, most tall and slender. A couple of slightly thicker boys. Azura, I believe that is your name.
You would believe correct. And if we are having introductions...
I am Pires
Ah.
of House Pursuua.
No.
Some might call it silly, or dangerous, or risky to take the latest celebrity to walk into our city. But you are a hard man to find alone. And with
The-
pressing matters within the city of late, it seems many people want to be involved in each other's business.
I am still unsure as to what this business is and why it seems to be almost forcing itself upon me.
Well, we shan't be forcing anything, but we can perhaps provide you with some answers. Our stake is not very strong, and so a risk was taken, I suppose.
I will let you know that my friends will be worried about me if they don't see me.
Well, if my brother played his part correctly, they shouldn't know that you've gone. You should be sat in your room in that red house, quietly, passing the time. Until tonight, when my brother will slip away, unseen.
Okay, and your house, is this the normal way they approach their guests to talk to them?
We don't have many guests. You see he kind of coughs a little bit. And you see a little bit of pale purple scum kind of lines the outside of his slightly slender, elongated mouth. And he kind of wipes it away. Flicks his hand, and you hear just a very subtle tss, like fizz as it hits the floor. We tend to keep to ourselves. Our business is our own. But with the import of what's happening in the city in 2 days past, then perhaps we wanted to spice things up a little bit. Come.
Yeah.
He starts to walk towards an archway. As you approach the archway, you can now see the source of the water. It seems to just be coming from through the wall. It's dark in here, illuminated only really by torchlight on sconces across the wall. From the smell and the aura of the place, you can tell you're underground. But where? Not a fucking Scooby-Doo. You can see this water trickles down the wall into a, say, 5 feet rounded water feature, I suppose. Some reeds aligning the edge. As you look over as you pass, there's a couple of small fish swimming around. You see as Piraz walks up, he just reaches into the pond and just grabs a fish. As it wriggles in his hand, he snaps it in half, offers you half. You hungry?
No, I'm fine. I had breakfast.
Just gullets the half of the fish. Shakes
Please.
his head, gullets the other half. As he opens his mouth, you can see there are 2 valves at the back of his throat, where tonsils would be, I suppose, and you can see that they're aligned with a purple liquid. And then come this way, and you can see he walks. Just imagine like a raptor almost. He's got that kind of raptor gait to his pace.
I'll follow.
I should probably ask for forgiveness for taking you in this way, but many of us are beyond forgiveness now.
Do I want to know why? Or is that not my business? Also.
Well, we're probably the least favoured house. As I said, we don't have a stake in a lot of things. We don't breathe warmth like the Gulreen. We aren't as for show as the Tolderan. And, well, you've met Octavian, so I won't say any more. You can see a bit more of that scum forms as he's talking. He just wipes it away. He leads you through a corridor that seems arched. The wet sandstone, just all of the sandstone seems damp. It feels out of sorts to you, this kind of temperature. Whilst it's warm, it's that damp warmth, humid, Vivarian-esque. It's not as comfortable as you're used to. You see another similar water feature further down on the left side this time. You imagine that's how the dampness is spread. Wherever this water comes from, it's filtered out into the area, the sandstone. Everything's seeped in dampness. Your feet have that slightly uncomfortable dampness, like you've stepped in the rain in your sock. It's that, oh fucking hell.
Yep.
Not used to it.
Mm.
He leads you into a side room. In the side room, it's slightly better lit. In the corners there are larger sconces. There is it's like a sofa, but it's made of wood, like a wooden bench. But there are a couple of pillows on it, and there was a single chair and a table. On the table there was a jug. Contained 2 jugs. One has a brownish liquid. One has a very pale purplish liquid. He sits down in the chair, gestures over to the sofa.
I'll sit.
As you make your way in, stepping around the archway, almost like a slithered way in, and taking purchase up against the wall, there's 2 more Pursuua housemen. These 2 are wearing knee-length beige robes, sandy kind of colour, wrapped around the front. Hoods loosely on the back of their horns, just to keep it up. So I won't bore you with a long conversation, unless, of course, you are a conversationalist.
I have had a fill of long, drawn-out conversations, and the questions I have mostly still have not been answered.
Well, maybe I can help you with that.
Yours is the 3rd house now that I have heard mention of what is coming in 2 days' time. But nobody feels that I should know what it is.
Well, I will take from that perhaps Octavian was not successful in his attempts to, garner your favour.
He has given me time to answer and make a decision. But he will not tell me what is going on.
Well, are you a guildsman, Azura?
No.
It's a shame. The guilds have a lot of influence.
I thought they were...
Of what happened a number of weeks ago.
Yes, they were all disbanded, closed down, and there was some incident.
You could say that, yes. The entire leadership was murdered at a gala. Poisoned, I believe it was. You see, he reaches for the jug. He takes a glass and he pours a little bit of the pale purple liquid, a little bit of the brown liquid. And it starts to fizz. He slides it over towards you. He pours another bit of the purple, a little bit of the brown. He slides it towards himself.
I'm eyeing it doubtfully.
Do you drink?
I'll raise it and just give it a sniff.
It smells earthy, but there is a weird perfumey tang to it that you can't place. Almost as it kind of hits the back of your throat, even just the smell of it kind of burns the back of your throat a little bit.
I will, glass in hand, I will offer out a toast to him, and then I will wait to see him drink before I will.
He smiles and he clinks the glass. He drinks it down.
I take, like, a small sip just to, not the full glass.
Yeah, you sip it. Okay. As I say, we don't have much of a stake in what is to come. Even if we did have a representative of our own, I don't think anybody would realistically take us too seriously. We have a feeling it's the warmth versus the wealth versus the power. And we sit on the sidelines. Little do they realise we have more influence in this city than they would like. Put it this way, we took you and no one knows. The guilds are to be reformed. We've received word that an interesting fellow goes by the name of Ulysses. He is taking over the guilds in Calvados, forming a new council. And as far as we've all been led to believe, he's seeking new leadership. Of the guild houses in the major cities. They used to be run by the executives and staffed by the executives. But it would seem that in the coming days that this Ulysses wants to see somebody in place that he approves. Now, I would argue that we would be the best fit, but well, we don't have the wealth, nor the warmth, nor the power.
So what was it that you bring to the table?
Pours himself another glass of purple and brown. Raises a toast again.
Again, I'll clink the glass, but take
clink.
another small sip.
Yeah. He chugs it down. Where do you see yourself? In the near future, or even the far future, Azura?
If someone had asked me that question a week ago. I would have said happily travelling with my companions. Going wherever next the road takes us. Now I can't even think what tomorrow brings. Because I've learnt so much in the last few days that I've learnt my entire life.
But you still have questions.
And I still have just as many questions.
And what are they? Maybe I can help.
Come through,
What?
Mike. Firstly, exactly how this is going to work in a couple of days. What, everyone just sits around and talks? Or...
As you could probably imagine, this is the first of its kind. We don't know what this Ulysses has in plan for us all. All we know is that he's put a missive out to each of the houses to bring a representative to put forward to lead the Dragoon Guildhouse. We've heard that the warmth have brought in an exterior influence. Someone from Wunt. I don't know what their aim is there, for I doubt Ulysses would allow a non-dragonborn to take command. But maybe they are better at talking, who knows?
Well, this is why I wonder why he wished to choose me. I am no talker. I am no diplomat.
Oh, with
And if this
power
is what-
comes influence, does it not?
What power do I have?
You are
There is no
unique.
Yes.
If what
Yes, I
are
am.
the discussions amongst the people are to go in truth, I hear you're being called the Prince.
A title given to me by someone I know nothing about. No. I did not know until a few days ago.
Well, if it is to be true, then what greater influence than the heir to the ancients?
But what influence, if even I am heir to the ancients, what influence can I give when I know nothing of what this city is, what goes on here, the foundings of this city? That
Ulysses is looking for a representative to run the guild. I don't think you need to know on what stone the city was formed. What do you know of that skeleton out there?
only what I've been led to believe is true from what
You told where it was found?
I think there was. Damn it.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Give me a history check.
Basement.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Better game in pigeon.
It was a basement.
It was in the basement. Woohoo!
14.
Yeah, it was in the basement.
It was basement of Salmanifax Tower.
10
Yes.
points! Yay!
Yes. It was in the basement underground areas of House Salmanifax, the tower.
Caverns beneath the city. Were you told how it got there? Or how it was removed? Given no one can touch it? Or did you think to ask?
I did not.
You see, he looks towards one of the guards and then pours another glass of purple and brown. Holds it up.
Octavian said that so many have touched this skeleton. I was the only one to survive.
That would be true. I'll tell you what, Azura. I'm happy for you to stay as long as you wish. I'm happy to answer any question you have. Are you aware of what a zone of truth is?
Yes.
I can have one of those provided should you wish. I will answer plainly. For what we don't have in influence, wealth, power, or warmth, we do have eyes and ears and claws everywhere. For each glass that you drink, I will give you one truthful answer to any question you have. I see you're not very trusting, given the way you're sipping.
You blame me with how I was brought here.
Unharmed, out of intrigue.
But still, with subterfuge.
I like that word. Perhaps that's what we bring to the table. So it's up to you. The more you want to know, the more of these you will have to drink. And he smirks, wipes the scum from his mouth, and takes another drink. Gestures towards the jugs. Answers to your questions.
I make sure the glass is full, and I will take a drink. The whole thing.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Hey. Ooh, that is a 22.
You see Perez smiles. He gestures towards the guard, who, from within his robe, he pulls a familiar-looking symbol of a entwined serpent. He holds it in his hand, gestures towards the table. You feel a wave of energy pass by you like a gentle blowing wind as he casts Zone of Truth. Now,
Very nice.
Zone of Truth is a 15-foot radius sphere centered on a point, the table. Lasts for 10 minutes. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie whilst in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such creatures can be evasive in its answers as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth. So it is cast, and Perez says, Your next question may be, how do you know if the answers are true or not? How insightful are you, Azura? You're good at reading people.
With the training I had as a guard, we had some training to read between truths and lies of criminals, if they were being honest or not.
Well, then it is up to you whether you choose to believe me or not. I have no reason to lie. But I suppose you will tell by my forthrightness and my answers. I shall not be evasive. For now, within this zone, I cannot lie deliberately. He sits back in his chair, kind of rests his shoulder over one side of it, lets his tail sit loosely on the floor, wipes the scum from his mouth again. And the choice is yours, Azura. You get one question per each one of those glasses you drink full. And he smirks.
Firstly, then, that skeleton. Is it truly Zarmanifax?
Yes. Gestures towards the jugs.
You should be glad the others aren't there. Chug, chug, chug. Definitely Scaff would be like, chug, chug, chug.
Yeah,
Are you my daddy?
Spicy juice! Spicy juice!
I pour another glass and down the hatch.
Give me a constitution saving throw.
Jesus Christ. 19.
Okay. He smiles and leans in, pours himself another one. Kind of swills it in the glass. Give me a perception check as you pour yourself your own. Now that some of the liquid has gone out of the jug.
21.
You can see that there is a scum around the glass, not too dissimilar from that has been dashing from his mouth. Got a little bit of green in you, boy.
Yeah.
Your next question. He drinks the glass down. You don't always have to ask yes and no questions, by the way. I've got no reason to lie, as I told you. Those ones just make my life easier. And he just sits there smiling.
Knowing what I know about these guild houses and how they were run in the past, why now is a specific leader being appointed by one specific house, or from one specific house?
Now that's an interesting one, because whilst I cannot lie, I can only tell the truth about things that I know. And I have already established to you that I do not know why Ulysses wants to approach this matter. But from what you see, he kind of catches his tongue a second, and he looks at you. What I didn't tell you was the full title that was listed on the missive. This individual calls himself Ulysses the Madcap, and he wants to put somebody in charge, no doubt that he could have influence over, no doubt that will be working for him. Hopefully that answer suffice, as I do not know anymore.
I go to pour another glass.
He smiles.
And I drink.
Pours himself another one. Give me a constitution saving throw.
Not looking. Oh! 22.
Okay. I see you're thinking about your questions. You should probably think of them before you drink. He's just sitting there smiling. He's clearly having a great time.
Hmm.
He just waits for you. Drinks again. The secondary guard approaches slightly, kind of leans in, kind of wrapped a walk to his step a little bit. Do you think you might need a refill, Piraz? Kind of looks up, smiles. We'll see how much the celebrity wants to know. But fetch some more, just in case. And he smiles and leaves the room.
Is there a way I can prove that I am a son of Zarmanafax through even the tiniest amount of blood from that skeleton, even after it has been tainted?
You see he pulls an inquisitive look.
Lucy Snowdrop just redeemed
If
hydrate.
you can get blood from a skeleton, then you are a, well, miracle worker. Forgive me, I will give you another question, for I do not know. But blood from skeletons does not make sense to me. Unless that did answer a question and you should drink again.
It didn't answer a question, but it provided me with more questions.
And drink again, my friend. He pours one for you. Pours himself one. Holds it up for a clink.
Oh, come on, you gonna leave the man hanging?
I've just got to think of a question first.
You are stronger than most. No one has ever got past 2. And then you see kind of, like, even your passive insight, you pick up that might have been a bit of a, bit too honest. Probably shouldn't have said that.
Bro's gonna have a hangover in the morning.
Woo, boy.
Right. Let me think.
It's not gonna be Azura. It's gonna be like, I am my daddy. But it's gonna be the guy. It's gonna be like, I am my daddy. Ow!
Oh, Lucy with the hydrate.
Azura just outdrinks them all and just walks out.
Now I've got a story to tell you of. I drank an entire Dragonborn house under the table.
You all assume it's alcohol.
Proud of me.
I really want one more question, but I'm struggling to think of one.
Potentially got an open book.
Yeah, I know. And everything's just going blank in here now.
It's a shame.
I will drink.
He slowly nods, like Jack Nicholson.
Cheers.
Clink.
My man.
Constitution saving throw.
That's not as well. I say that. That's a 18. I gotta get +6. No doubt you heard recently of what happened at Dora Yosai. With your connections and the subterfuge that you say you have.
You see his smirk lessens a little bit.
Do you know where Shozan Card is?
I will admit that is not the angle I thought he would take with that question. And you hear that the I'll give me a perception check.
Oh, that's 22.
22. You hear that the caster of the zone just gives him a little flick with his tail underneath the table. He kind of shudders. I do not. I do not know where Shozan Kad is.
Can I... I'm going to turn to look at the one who basically kicked him under the table. Can I insight him as to why he would have done that, maybe?
It's not. It's not really. It's not really how insight works. Insight's more to test if you believe somebody or to read somebody. You know, he's just whipped him under the table. I suppose it's you heard it or saw it. It's open to your interpretation. But in a zone of truth, why might someone whip someone?
I think I've seen Zone of Truth before. Have I?
I'll just tell you. He's probably whipped him because he said something he shouldn't. Or maybe he's been a bit too truthful in his zone. Because whilst he can't lie, he also doesn't have to fucking say things.
I'm going to drink again.
Okay. Give me a con save. He watches you kind of hastily drink this one, and that smirk sort of returns. And he pours himself another one.
15.
16. Start to get a bit of a dull burn at the back of your throat. He sips it.
Okay. With what you said,
You see,
what were you
he kind of
expecting me?
flashes a glance at the guy, and he just shakes his head slowly.
What were you expecting me to ask about when I mentioned Yosai?
You see, he sits up and leans forward. Didn't expect you to be here this long. Now, whilst I cannot lie, I can be evasive. But I will humour you, I suppose. I did not think that you were going to ask about the location of Sherzan Kad, because I would assume you would already know that I, nor none of my kinsmen were there, so how could we know? But I thought you might have asked, perhaps, who exactly was involved in the attack.
That may well be my next question. And I poured a drink.
He smirks and looks up at the guy. The guy's just like, fucking knobhead. Pours himself another one. Now, there's quite a lot gone out of these jars now, these jugs. You can see now that most of this purple liquidy stuff is gone. It's getting a bit deeper in purple towards the bottom, and you can see there's floaties in it now.
Oh, no.
Not only is there like backwash floaties, but you can kind of see that there's some of these floaties are a little bit
Floatier.
like tiny segments of lava lamp, like just little liquid, thick liquid.
I was going to say, as long as none of them are moving, that's all that matters.
Sludge.
You see the other guy returns with a jug that's kind of sloshing as he walks, and he just pours the brown liquid in. Brother, refills the brown, and then he, from his tail, comes round and he's holding a jug of water. I mean, it looks like water. There's clearly a lot of water sources down here. And he pours it into the purple jug. Dips his tail in it. And swirls it a bit. And then you see Perez leans forward. And, lowers his tongue towards the jug. And a thick gout of purple liquid drips off Perez's tongue into the jar. And then Perez sits back again and smiles. You were going to drink again?
Yeah. I don't hesitate.
What is it with this fucking city?
Yes, drink
Constitution
my
saving
spirit.
throw.
Oh, it's a nat 20.
Nice. You're alright, you're alright.
Oh. So then, who was fully involved? All participants in the attack on Yosai.
As you say that, you see the other guy that brought the jars in kind of flicks a glance over. How did we get onto that topic? I thought you were talking about guild houses. Oh, Piraz. And he walks out. Fuck staying in that zone. Well... He swirls his glass around, sips it. Octavian has a lot of interest and influence, and he has a lot of men on the ground. But let me ask, how much do you know of what was involved in the attack? So that perhaps I can answer you fully.
I was there. Assassins. People in disguise. Poison. Darts. Explosive. Powerful explosions.
So you've mentioned poison, and you've mentioned explosions. What were you told about the poison?
That it was mixed with dragon blood. Whether that was what make it extremely potent.
And where might one get dragon blood?
That is why I asked about it before.
From the skeleton. Interesting. Wipes some more scum from his lips. Flicks it on the floor. What were you told this blood was mixed with?
I'm trying to remember now. Oh. Can I roll a history check? Because I, for myself, can't remember.
If you cannot remember, then you probably weren't told the truth. Do you know what this is? And he kind of wipes his finger and thumb across his tongue and holds in his fingers purple, thick, oily liquid. Drops a bit onto the wooden table and it fizzes. Leaves a very small hole in the table.
Would I know? I mean...
just give me a history check on...
Yeah. $11.
11. I mean, there's different types of Dragonborn. You've not seen that many. But with an 11, I mean, you know that blue is lightning. I guess you'd know that red is fire.
I'm just thinking, would Azura at some point anywhere have seen anything resembling an acid?
Oh, can you guess what green is? Poison.
Well, poison.
And he sits back in his your face. Sits back in his chair and shrugs. Where might explosions come from?
Fire. Mixed with a certain substance I've seen on a number of occasions.
As I said, you are all very trusting, I suppose. Does that answer your question, or would you like to know more? Gestures towards the jugs. They've just been refilled, after all.
One more.
Pours himself on. And his smirk has kind of dulled now. You get the vibe, even with your passive insight, you get the vibe that he's given you an answer that you perhaps didn't want to hear. The cards are on the table.
Pours another and drinks.
Your Constitution saving throw.
18.
18. That tickle on the back of your throat gets a bit worse. Because as you could probably tell now, given the answer that he's just given you, you've drank quite a fucking lot of poisonous green dragonborn spit.
Brother, ew.
Brother, He drinks his down. Before we end, I would like to say that I have enjoyed this. It's very nice to have an opportunity such as this once in a while. And you know I cannot lie about that.
All of the houses of Dragoon were willing participants in the attack on Doriosai.
Except Alderan. Nobody really speaks to them. They like themselves too much. What can I say? We do not have the power. We do not have the wealth. And we do not have the warmth. But if somebody asks for poison for a reason, if they are willing to pay, Some might say, Azura, that knowledge is power. But it is not necessarily the knowledge itself. It is what you do with it that truly matters. I know you've been travelling with the third son of House Doriosai. I shall plan to tell him. What do you think that would do?
Put a target back on his back?
Not necessarily. I feel if anybody wanted him dead, he already would be. As he freely walks around the city, surrounded by those he would have considered enemies. I can answer as many questions as you are willing to purchase, Azura. He pours himself another drink. Pours you one. It's up to you. He sits back in his chair.
Oh, God.
Is there anything else you would like to know about the city or yourself? Or are you going to ask more questions about the affairs of your friends? I will alleviate you wasting a question. We know nothing about the lizard.
We do not care about the lizard.
Oh. That means you do know something about someone else.
If that is your assumption.
Pours the drink. Takes it.
Constitution save.
21.
21. It's getting a bit worse on the back of the throat. You take 4 points of poison damage.
Oh my.
If I can speak plainly while you think about your question, I will say you are truly magnificent, Azura. Not just with the changing of colours between your scales, but the fact that you can drink even diluted poison in such a quantity. There is a reason nobody has passed the second drink before. But normally they are under less friendly circumstances, and it is usually a lot less diluted. Whilst I would happily sit here and drink with you all day, perhaps you will think of important questions. I can tell. The back of the skin on the back of your throat is starting to burn away. I can smell it.
Just slowly nod. I'm like,
What is a little pain for a little pleasure, no?
This last question, plain and simple. What should I do next?
That is a very interesting and open-ended question that is, of course, open to opinion alone. Could I ask that you maybe direct it a little? I could tell you to do 10 star jumps, and that would be it. That would be a waste, would you not think?
Yeah. What should I do next with regards to the offer from Octavian?
Again, it is under the assumption that I know what he has offered. If that is the question you want me to answer, then I can. But know that that is based on the knowledge that I do not know what he has offered.
He wishes me to be his representative.
What harm could it do if you hold no loyalty or wish to stay or... What are the words I'm trying to say? If it doesn't really matter to you that much, what harm could it do to attend? Even as a representative. What his true intentions are, you would have to ask him. But if the aim is to impress Ulysses the Madcap, and your interest is not beholden to that, then does it really matter whether you go or not? Perhaps if you choose to be his representative, whether you intend to aid him or not, whatever your opinion is, if you choose to go, then nobody else would in your place.
Just slowly nods and...
Is that all of your questions? Surely you have maybe one more. He smiles and lifts the jugs. Pause. One more for the road.
I want to say give me a persuasion check.
Yeah? Against what? I'll do it on D&D Beyond.
I don't know what you normally roll these against. You're the DM here.
Well, I just set the DC, but if you want to do it against, I don't know, maybe Insight. If you want to roll Insight and I try and beat it.
Okay.
I'll have to do it. How can I do it?
It's 17. Maybe if you did it on someone else's sheet, I could see it, or...
Yeah. Whose sheet shall I do it on? Everyone's going to want to see it. You're muted.
You can just
You can do it on mine.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay.
You can just open the game log.
Look, can you do it on there, can you?
Or you can just see the game log.
Oh, I see what you
Wherever
mean. Yeah, if
wherever
you
you
just open the
roll
game
from.
log. Right, yeah, of course. Right, okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm on Zafira's sheet now, anyway. He's got a +8 to his persuasion.
Oh boy.
17 is the target.
So we need what? A 10?
9.
A 9?
9 beats it.
4.
Oh!
As fun as this has been, I think I have had my fill.
That's an interesting way to word it, and I will respect it, for the next one could kill you. He just shoots both of them that he's poured.
Having been extremely close to already dying in the last couple of days, I don't want to risk it again.
Okay. Not that, well, I do not want to assume, but unless fire breathing is one of your pastimes, I would not recommend for the next 24 hours at least. Maybe let that pass through your system.
Yeah, breathing fire is not my forte.
I understand. And I will, I suppose, warn you if you start to feel sick, you should probably make yourself sick. Because it might be your stomach lining melting away.
Yeah.
Duly noted.
Okay. Well, if that is that, it has been an eye-opening experience. I've learned
both
all
of us.
I need to learn. Whatever comes next, well, we shall see. I suppose that depends on what you will do with what you have learned. But when you are ready, I will take you back to the surface.
Just going to sit there for a few minutes, see how I feel, and
Roll me a d20.
14.
Yeah. Feel alright for now? If I could make one request that seems a little out of place, perhaps, but in the interest of spending some time with one so new unique,
Please, go ahead.
how would you feel if I was to request I take one of your small scales? Just to remember this by, perhaps.
Man sentimental.
Probably grow back in a few days. But I do like the way they shine. Feel free to say no. It was only a request.
Yeah, no other purpose at all, then
Ah, you think this subterfuge will be holden with a small gem scale?
wow. I've seen magics that I never believed possible. And who knows what could be done with a single scale of...
Well, I can tell you it is for personal keepsake. I have no nefarious means, and we are still within the zone.
Yes, you may.
As he reaches behind into the small of his back, pulls out a small knife. I imagine you've probably felt worse. The count of 3. He just reaches onto the back of your hand. One. He nicks it off.
Yeah. No.
You see his friend drops the zone. Casts a small cure wounds onto you. Regain 6 hit points.
Thank you again for this opportunity. It's been
Well,
interesting.
that it has.
And
Puts his hand on your shoulder before you can finish talking. Gestures, opening a door. Disappear. Moments later, reappearing in that heat that you're familiar with the outside air. Yeah, your eyes burn briefly, matching the burn on the back of your throat as the sunlight catches you. You see, as he arrives, he's got his eyes closed, and he slowly blinks them open. Have a good day, young prince. He pats you on the shoulder and then just raptors away.
oh, I need to find the others. And getting my bearings, I'll look around and then
You
head
can
over
see... Well, I don't know if you were ever told, but House Pursuua is in the northeast, not far from the temples. You see you are stood looking south. You can see the gate to the east. The tower is on your right. So quickly trying to get your bearings. You are in the northeast corner of the city. You see to the south is the marketplace.
Can I roughly guess how long I've been there?
It's hard to tell. I mean, Zone of Truth's 10 minutes. You walked to the room after being teleported in, so reasonably 10-15 minutes.
I do remember discussing with Zafira as we were, before we started heading back to the gate, that he was going to go with her to the church of Kerecekian.
And as far as you've been made aware, nobody knows you've gone.
So being in that area of the city, I would probably head there in the hope that she had still
Gone with
Sorry,
Azura to the
follow-
temples.
follow through with that plan.
So, we will have another bit of a meanwhile, because it's not much time flash, but you all head to the temples. You've got the main... Well, I say main. You've got the Avia Orthus building. The little Wuntian outhouse. the smallest of the buildings. Not the most favoured in the north of Kerecekian.
Poor ape lovers.
Monkey.
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 And the Kerecekian building.
Yeah, I'm in front somewhere, I guess.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you're angrily stomping.
I know we started
Yes.
late. We've not had a break. Do we want a cheeky 10-minute before we crack on, or how are people feeling?
I'm technically okay.
I feel
Yeah,
okay.
I'm okay too.
Yeah, if we're going to be finishing on time at about 10 anyway, we've got 40 minutes.
Yeah, so I'll just crack
Yes.
on.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Right, well,
Let's
I am going
crack
to
on,
make
mate.
a brew, so I am.
Okay, he muted.
Well,
Pitch is such a devious bastard. Man.
hilarious.
For real.
Yeah, I am going to mute while the kettle's boiling because it comes through dead fucking loud on the screen.
Oh no.
He's getting some tea.
Right.
When we reach the entrance, I'll probably stop and wait.
I'll look
Not
at
like
Jen and I'll just gesture towards the House of Kerechek and I'll just be, do you want to come with?
I need a cleric.
Well, then that's probably where you'll find one.
I need one that has the ability to find someone.
Well, that's not something I can promise you, but there's probably a cleric in the House of Kerechek. She is, after all, the most well represented on her own continent.
How long? Wait.
So,
Could you do me a favor?
always.
Because I don't think I'll be able to hold my cool if somebody tells me the answer is no. And I'll go into the bag of holding and I'll pull out my father's forearm bone.
Oh, great. Ah,
I will not hand it to you. Don't you worry, my dear.
you want me to ask to find your father?
If he is in the city, it's the easiest way to determine whether or not we're being lied to. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I think your mother needed something else to do the same. So,
I'll go into the bag of holding again. I'll pull out the orb. I think from what Octavian told me, we have the tools.
right,
We just need someone gifted to do something with the tools.
right.
Another good check to see if we're being lied to.
And I'll hold out both my hands for the crystal ball.
I'll hand her the crystal ball. I'll need this back.
Of course.
They require payment.
Don't worry about that.
I'm worried about a payment beyond monetary means.
We'll see what they say.
I'll be right behind you.
Lean in and I'll press a little kiss to his forehead before I turn and walk into the House of Kerechek. Mwah. Instantly a better mood.
He'll be like grumble, grumble,
I don't want to
grumble.
be in a good mood.
Let me be angry.
Dang it. Stop being cute. Yeah, I'll go in and have a look around to see if the two that I saw last time are there.
The two that you saw last time are not there.
Cool.
However, there is another red-skinned dragonborn wearing orange robes that complement her redness. Sat at the top of the church, facing the kind of motif of Kerecekian.
Still holding the crystal ball with both my hands. I'll just approach slowly, respectfully.
Hearing your footprints on the sandstone floors, she turns and looks over her shoulder and smiles. Stands up, gives you a small bow. You see as she leans forward, her chain and symbol of Kerecekian dangles below her chin.
I'll
She stands
bow
up.
as well.
Well, I'd heard we had someone of import in the city, but I wasn't sure whether to believe it or not. How are you, Paladin?
Oh, I'm feeling as well as I can, given the circumstances, I suppose. But, please, I'm really not someone of import.
She kind of gives you a look of, all right, bollocks. Whatever you say, James.
I'm just...
But she humours your humble response and nods and smiles politely. How can I help?
Do you think you can find someone for us? Through magical means? With the help of this? And I'll just nod towards the crystal ball in my hands.
She looks at it with a confused face at first. Because it's not very often, certainly the first time you have seen any item of religious import be inscribed or adorned with motifs from more than one deity.
To ask it, because last time I held it, it had like a glow to it. Does it still?
It doesn't.
Okay.
She walks closely and kind of puts her hands on your hands as you're holding it so as not to just grab it. And she kind of looks at you in the eye with a inquisitive look and then looks closely at the ball. Where did you get this?
A fellow devoted follower of Kerecekian, who
And of the
unfortunately...
father as well, it would seem.
Indeed, which I also found surprising, but unfortunately there is no way I can ask her to work with this any longer.
Well, she kind of picks up on what you're putting down.
Smart girly.
Well, may he guide her.
I'm sure they both have.
Well, may I?
Slowly hand it over. Basketball, ting ting.
Hey, ting ting.
Blade gets drawn, head gets severed from head.
Yeah, she takes it over towards the front, kind of like looking over her shoulder to,
No,
show that she's not just fucking dipping with it.
stealing it. I got a crystal ball. I gotta go.
I got places to be. She takes it up towards the, what's it called? Is it the pulpit or the parapet or wherever you keep the holy water?
I'll follow.
And she kind of dips her hand in the holy water and sprinkles it over the orb. And you see as the holy water drips its way into all the various carefully engraved crevasses across the surface of the crystal ball, they start to glow in a very pale, subtle orange, but a noticeable glow. There's been some response or activation nonetheless. And then as the drips continue to flow into the bottom half, they are overtaken by a blackish, dark purple-ish glow, subtle still. She kind of rubs the surface of the orb to kind of cover it in this holy water, and she holds it in her hands, still lightly dripping.
It is fascinating, isn't it?
Magnificent. I can already tell that this is a powerful tool. I feel it will extend my reach, so to speak. If you could, with as much detail as possible, describe who it is you need to find. And if they are alive and within the range, then I should be able to find them.
It is a bit of an, odd situation we find ourselves in. We have something of the person that we're looking for, if that helps.
Always helps, yes.
Now look at Jin. He's probably the best to give you that description you need.
Is it a trinket or a gift or?
Oh.
I pull out the forearm bone.
She visibly shudders a bit, but then settles.
This bone, and looks at Severa, belonged to my father. It's a name whom you may be familiar with, maybe not, depending on your interest on grievances done, grievances received. The name you're looking for is Shozen Kad.
Again, her eyes widen a little when you say the name. Right.
Maybe a few nights ago, he was supposedly met his end. However, I've recently come to believe that that might not be true, for no body has been retrieved. It is very important this man is found before he inflicts further, depending on your retelling of history, slights against the city, against the people. He is above all my father. Do you need a description of the man? The way he looks like? Maybe
as
the
garish
general
as it may
vibe
be,
that he might be?
I feel... Do you look like him?
Close enough.
Well, if I was to gaze upon you and touch the bone, I think that would be enough.
I'll sort of respectfully lower my head in like a respectful bow.
She reaches out towards Jin. Do you present her the bone?
I do. I hold it out.
She kind of touches it, kind of squeezes it in a few places, up and down the length of it.
Oh, dearie.
And then immediately dips her hand in the holy water, and you see she visibly shudders, but tries to maintain her composed face. Like one who's
I don't blame you.
Made myself shudder. She puts her hands on the orb, and like one of those cool people who do tricks with balls, she starts to kind of move her hands around, and the ball doesn't seem to move. And she closes her eyes, and that subtle orange and purple glow mixes and gets slightly brighter. And she focuses, and you can tell, looking at her eyes with them closed, she's doing the Matrix as she's learning.
Scanning.
Scanning, blinking hundreds of times, images passing through her eyesight. Pictures painted onto the backs of her eyelids. She stops, opens her eyes and shakes her head. Whew. Looks down towards the ball. That was a lot. Well, I have news. I won't label it good or bad, for that would be up to you. But your father is alive and was within range of the view. The orb was required, which perhaps doesn't answer the question as you may will it. He's not within the city. He is to the southwest, seemingly aimlessly wandering the dunes. From the little that I could see, for not only did the orb give me a location, but it also gave me some subtle suggestions of imagery. A truly powerful tool. You must keep it safe. But he, well, as you can imagine, one who has lost their arm, he doesn't seem of well health. But he is in the dunes to the southwest.
You've done me a great service today.
She takes a cloth and gently dries the ball and holds it out towards Zafira.
I'll take it back.
Very well. Do we want to look for our friend? Or will we trust our...
I know you're kind of in a hurry to find him, but I'll just hand over the crystal ball. Will you give me a moment?
Of course. I'll step away with put the ball and the bone back in the bag of holding.
Truly an impressive ability that you have.
We are blessed.
I don't think we've introduced each other. What is your name?
I am Marianne.
Nice to meet you, Marianne. I'm Zafira.
Nice to meet you, Paladin Zafira. I believe you've been spending time at my mother's. House Gulreen.
Oh, you're Magda's daughter. Nice to see. But yes, we have. She's been gracious enough to offer us somewhere to stay.
Yes, she is a mother first.
That's good. I think I'll take a moment.
Take as long as you need. You seem troubled.
Oh, just worried about a friend, and I have some questions as well as to how these two, or how this woman I mentioned was able to be connected to two of them at the same time. I don't think I've seen or heard of that. And supposedly, I started thinking about it last time I came here because the other two that we hear mention it as well. That apparently being a paladin is not something that is common.
Well, of course not. Being a paladin is more than just pledging an oath to a deity. We all do that on a daily basis. In our prayers and our worship, our faith.
Maybe I just figured that all of Kerechek's followers had a connection to her as close as I do.
Everyone takes their connections differently. But whilst clerics are blessed in our practice, paladins are chosen as representatives. It's not necessarily just about how faithful or how loyal you are. As I say, many people express an oath. They still have to be chosen. And that's why you're important.
I don't know, maybe I just never thought of myself that way. Well, at least not now.
And she turns and looks up at the motif. Well, she did.
That is great, but also very humbling to know in a way.
Have you been to the Great Tree?
Before I pledged my oath, yes.
Fair enough.
But I definitely want to take another pilgrimage and go, because I feel there's much to learn.
There always is. You said you had an issue with a friend?
Oh, yes, he's missing.
Oh dear. Well, should I look for him?
Oh, yeah, it's probably wise not to. They have House Pursuua have assured us that he would be returned to us.
Oh. Well, you know their house is not far from here.
Oh, that is good to know. I don't think we've ever been pointed to where exactly the houses are, except for, we know where House Gulreen is, and Tall Darren is hard to miss, but, and so is the tower, but...
Well, if you give me a brief description of your friend, I can... It's no trouble. I can look...
Oh, you must have at least heard of him. Really tall, gem dragonborn, blue scales.
Her eyes go wide again. Oh, how has he of all people gone missing?
Good question. You hear from the peanut gallery.
But, I can only assume magical means.
Well, give me a moment. She dips her hands in the holy water again and rubs her hands together. Closes her eyes. And then stops. And then opens her eyes. He's outside the temple grounds.
Oh, so they already let him go then. Excellent. Jin, do you
Kind of
wanna-
looks very, like, with your passive insight, very mildly frustrated at burning a 4th level spell slot when my man's outside.
I apologize.
It's fine.
It's. Jin, do you want to get the prince?
He's already left. He's out the door.
Well, there he goes.
Azura, as you stand outside the temple grounds, making your way towards them, Jin comes running round the corner.
Don't you ever do that again, young man. Where have you been?
I will spot him. Squeeze my eyes a little bit.
Tried to reach through his chest to grab a neck. Just collides with his chest.
And when I see the awkward, like...
Yeah. Checks
All
out.
right. Are you okay, big guy?
I'm good.
You don't sound very good, but
Yeah, I got some stuff to tell you.
I'll toss in my water skin. How about you drink something first?
That will help. After what I've been drinking, you'll understand. And take a long drink from the water skin.
Go ahead, empty it.
I drink a lot, but I don't empty it. How is my throat feeling after this?
Yeah, I mean, you had your cure wounds pumped in. It was mainly so that your scale wasn't an open wound. The residual poison, it's just like drinking a very harsh liquor. Like, it burns for a bit and then settles. As he said, if you feel sick, it's probably your stomach lining, so just let it. Like, you probably want to be sick. But for now, considering how high your constitution rolls were, you lasted a lot longer than I expected. So you feel alright reasonably now you've had a drink.
Well, I've had an interesting, 20 minutes? And there's a lot of stuff I need to talk to you all about. Where's everyone else?
Severe's inside. Probably doing a prayer before we leave. Honestly, I have no idea where Scaff went.
Well,
I'll be very honest with you.
Where has Scaff gone?
Maybe he's gone to his own temple. I don't know.
it's probably a good idea that he has. Let's go and join Zephyra. I would like to be there when she prays.
All right.
I did promise her that I'd join her.
Okay. All right.
I'll
After
sort
all, I
of-
had shown interest in the past. You weren't there last time.
No, I was asking forgiveness in a way, I suppose.
Preemptive forgiveness.
Don't.
Just getting this on tap, just in case.
We're just just gonna keep you busy. I hope that's all right with you.
Man's. I'm gonna need a lifeline here. All right. Sure, you're okay.
I think I'll be okay. If I feel worse, then I might tell you when I'm drunk.
Chug, 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 chug. He just kept going too.
Fair enough. If
But I
anybody
do.
tells you that I came close to murdering a bunch of people, don't believe it.
I know you, especially recently. Yeah, fine.
And I'll wait for him to walk into the temple. Because I'm not letting him go in front of me for a while.
As you start to make your steps towards the temple, you feel something small and wet hit the top of your head.
Bloody birds.
You've been shit on. It's good luck.
The desert birds.
It's shortly followed by similar spatterings, and as you look up towards the sky, you notice for the first time in a long time, clouds have formed, and it has begun to rain in Dragoon.
Azura, Prince was promised, bring her rain.
I bring you water.
Wherever Scath is and Zafira,
A
you
miracle.
can hear from within the pitter-patter of raindrops on sandstone.
Since I got that sort of shudder earlier that a storm was coming, do I get that feeling again? Oh no.
Before the raindrops begin to pitter-patter on the rooftop, you get that similar taste. Sense of the coming storm.
You can smell the rain on the air. Like, I can smell it. It's going to rain.
I think as the rain starts to come down, Jin will just stand there. It's been a while.
What is this?
It's not quite heavy, for it does not rain often in Kerecek. But judge as you look up now, after not noticing the clouds starting to form, still quite sporadic. You see they're forming from a northerly direction, moving south and building. It's probably going to rain for a while. It's not the fucking Met Office, but it's not a passing shower.
He'll just sort of arch his head up and close his eyes.
The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain. You've got that warm dampness to the air. Gives familiarity, Biggie, to where you've just come from. You're warm and you're wet. You make your way into the church. Scath, you've been quiet. Where have you been?
Letting everyone else do their own shit for the time being.
Well, I figured that, mate, but you've been quiet.
I'll just gone into the Temple of Avia, asked around, can anyone perform any teleportations 2 ways, there and back?
You're met by a cleric who approaches you and greets you, and kind of can't take their eyes off your interesting choice of inlaid holy symbol.
Look at that bling!
I don't actively show it off.
Unfortunately, whilst some possess capability of short-range magical travel, it is those of the arcane that can travel longer distance.
It was just worth an ask. Thank you.
Always.
No, just sit in silence. I said, Scar's not doing anything exciting.
Leave you to say a few words. I give you some space. Jin and Azura walk into the Temple of Kerecekian.
One times big guy.
I see you didn't quite avoid the rain.
I love the rain.
Me too.
It was quite nice.
I could smell it coming.
Though, if I'm going to step back out of it, I will cover up the blade. I don't want that to be affected by the rain.
Clean it as you would do with blood, and it'll be okay.
Only when.
Can we not talk about this in a church, please?
That's clean.
See
Proper
Marianne
weapon
stood at
cleaning
the front, just
protocol.
looking over her shoulder like,
Yes.
bones, blood cleaning, fucking hell.
Yes. I have word when you can have action.
Mouth to her. Sorry.
She smiles and shakes her head.
I don't know church etiquette. Oh.
Dudes will be dudes.
Boys will be boys.
Well, it's good to see you, Zafira.
Good to see you too. We were worried sick.
Don't mention sick.
Are you okay?
Let's just say it's a little early for drinking, and I may have.
Been drinking.
You could say that.
And what was it that you drank? Are you feeling sick?
Am I feeling sick?
No.
Good
Go a
question.
bit
For
closer
clarity,
to investigate.
it definitely wasn't alcohol.
Yeah, fair enough. But if he says he's been drinking, it could literally be anything.
Of course.
I'm gonna check how I'm feeling. Am I getting a burble stomach yet?
I say reasonably because it's only just happened. No.
Can I investigate or insight to see how he's...
Yeah, even with your passive
Nope.
insight, like when he mentions drinking, you can't smell any alcohol on his breath. He doesn't look. He's not got pie eyes. Doesn't seem drunk or intoxicated.
Yeah, I don't think it was alcohol.
What was it then? Because I can't smell anything odd.
Let's save that for a conversation elsewhere.
It's... Okay.
But
With an Azura returned, the rain pattering down on the roofs. The storm cometh. it seems. That is where we will end before we get too deep into other conversations. We will find out if our paladin lass is here next week or not. But
Speak to Kerecekian.
we will, we will see. We will see. Well done, everybody. Nobody died.
I tried.
Yeah, we will keep you posted. We're not 100% sure what the plan is for next week. But if we can play, we can play. If we have to pause, we will pause. But either way, the difference won't matter on YouTube in the future. Woo!
Timey-wimey.
Yeah, bit of timey-wimey. Right, everyone. Good stuff, good stuff. And we will see you all soon. Toodle-byes.
Ciao for now.